makeup bag right now. You have more than you need. I feel like I might have more than I need. This thing is packed. Or maybe you just have no idea at all what you need. Well, Lisa Vella is here to help with that. Lisa, you're going to show us how to build our makeup collection with a few essentials. And we're going to start with the basics: concealer, foundation.
Absolutely. Foundation and concealer is the way to even out your skin, get rid of redness and discoloration. And I find it's very important to know your skin's undertones when you're choosing your foundations and your concealers. You can look at the veins on your wrist. If they're blue or purple, you have a cooler undertone. If they're green, you'll have a warmer undertone. And if you look at your veins, you're like, I'm not sure where I'm at, then I would consider yourself a neutral undertone. That's always a safe bet. Now, when you're purchasing your foundations, they typically will come in those three categories: cool, warm, or neutral. So you're already ahead of the game if you understand what your skin's undertones are. Now, I really love foundations with a bit of skincare incorporated in it. So tinted moisturizers like by Laura Mercier, Charlotte Tilbury's Beautiful Skin Foundation, also great choices with radiance in the skin. If you find yourself to be super oily, NARS has their soft matte foundation that will really control the oil. Now, if you're applying concealer to your face and not under your eyes, I always recommend a matte formula because you don't want to highlight anything that you're trying to minimize. And for under your eyes, always look for a concealer with a little bit of color correcting if darkness is your concern, because then you're going to avoid the chances of your under eyes appearing gray.
Ooh, a good concealer is gold. Okay, let's get to powder and bronzer.
100%. So powder is a way that we reduce shine, and we also use it to set our makeup, our skin makeup that we just applied. And especially if you're using color powder products on top of your foundation, it's always a smart idea to use a powder. So there's Max Mineralized Skin Finish, which is a kit staple. It has a little bit of iridescence in it, which keeps the skin looking like skin. And then Laura Mercier, Charlotte Tilbury, their powders are also amazing. They blur pores. They don't feel heavy on the skin, which I find is really important for powders. Now, moving on to bronzers. I love me a bronzer, and I know that there's a lot of people that are like, I don't know if I need it. It's totally up to you. But I find it's a great way to add dimension to the skin and warm up your tones. And even if you're the lightest and or a darker skin tone, there are bronzers that are made for you. So a lighter skin tone who reacts a little bit of pink and red to the sun, you're going to aim for a bronzer with a bit of a rose peach undertone to it. If you're a medium olive skin tone, a bronzer like NARS's Laguna is a great option. It has copper and earthy tones. And if you're a darker skin tone, you can still use a bronzer to warm up your skin that is terracotta and a chocolate tone, like Danessa Myricks.
Really good tips, because I think a lot of us that have darker skin think, why would I want a bronzer? Like, I'm good. So it's good to know that there's bronzers that exist for all the skin tones. I want to talk about one that's like, I feel somewhat controversial, blush. I just stopped using it for many years because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. So some of us might overdo this one. Let's talk about blush. What should we be looking for?
Absolutely. Blush is a great way to add a little bit of flush back into the skin after we've just done all these steps to neutralize it. And again, you're going to consider your skin's undertones. If you want it to really complement your skin, using one with similar undertones as your skin is a great go-to. So MAC has their powder blushes. They have endless colors. They're also always a great choice. And I'm all for multi-purpose products. So lips, cheeks, I actually have some on today. Charlotte Tilbury, Danessa Myricks as well. Amazing brands to really accentuate that flush of color. And if you want a color that really stands out, you're going to choose a color opposite to your undertones. So if I'm cooler, if I use a warmer undertone blush, it's really going to stand out and pop against my skin.
Okay, great tips. I'm a big fan of all the Charlotte Tilbury as well. Great stuff. And Fenty, another really good brand. Let's get to the eyes now, shall we? Mascara and eyeshadow. This is the fun stuff. What do we need in our makeup bag?
So eyeshadow doesn't need to feel overwhelming. And I find that people really get caught up in the 8 steps or 7 steps. If you're new to the eyeshadow world, keep it simple. Choose products for just everyday wear. And things you want to consider when you're choosing your eyeshadow color is your eye shape, your eye color. Do you have texture on your lids, or do you have a smoother surface? And there are eyeshadow colors that will accentuate your eye color and really make your eyes pop. So those are always great colors to go to in those situations. Now, if you have a bit of texture on your eyelid, definitely go for a matte formula.
Okay, so everyone's thinking, Trace, when are you going to talk about the lips? I feel like this is the easiest because it's easy for us to find a lip color that we love, but let's talk about the lips. What do we need for our beauty bags?
Absolutely. So lip, again, a great way to add a pop of color. If you want one to complement your skin tones, again, we go right back to our undertones. There are cooler lipsticks, cooler undertone lipsticks, warmer undertone lipsticks. And if lipsticks are new to you and you're just like, I'm not sure, there are tinted lip balms like Burt's Bees that gives this amazing soft color. Now, MAC has their Powder Kiss lipsticks, which I love. They give a real great punch of color and they don't dry out your lips. So again, play around, enjoy the lipstick, accentuate what you have, and just have fun.
In general, Lisa, since we have you here and we're figuring out how to stack up our makeup bags, how long should we be holding on to these products for?
Every product is different. Typically, if your product is not good anymore, I would say you would smell it, especially in a lipstick. Powders typically last a little bit longer. Mascaras have the shortest shelf life, I would say 3 to 6 months. Foundations, again, you start to smell, the product doesn't smell the same anymore. So I'd say the longest is a year. I would revamp.
Yeah. Good answer. So you smell your stuff, ladies. Sometimes I know I'm supposed to be throwing stuff out. I'm just like, I'm just going to close this and put it away because I'm going to keep using it until there's none left. But that's wrong. Don't follow me. Follow Lisa. Really good tips, Lisa. Thank you so much.